Good morning, it is day 37. Yesterday was a nice day, nothing special really apart from hitting the 500 mile mark and the 800 kilometre mark, which I missed again, so I took a photo at 805. Started with a big up, then it's just along the side of the hills, a little bit more up. Met some new people. I met Disco, and because I was trying to walk a bit slower, I walked with him for a while. He was going a nice easy pace. Also met Billy Goat, who I had lunch with, and then it's a long stretch without water, and then they've built a cistern. So basically it's a roof which, when it rains, feeds water into the cistern. Very, very low roof. So when I got there was a little party going. The Three Stooges and Billy Goat. So I hung out there for about an hour and a half. It was in the hottest part of the day, so it's nice to be in shade. Filtered some water, listened to music, talked, and then pushed on a little bit further. Came into a lovely area of forest, and found a nice campsite. Now today, I've got 12 kilometres and I get to a road where I'm going to hitchhike to a shop about 4 miles away and see if I can hang out there for a lot of the day until late afternoon, then hitch back, have a quick look at Hikertown, which is sort of like a fake western town where hikers can stay, and then start the Los Angeles Aqueduct section. So this is the flattest part that we do and the hottest part. Basically it's in the Mojave Desert, following the aqueduct along, and there's a long stretch, I think 21 miles with no water, so 32 kilometres. So flat, long, monotonous, with a heavy pack with lots of water. So I'll start that in the evening, and then push on into dark for a bit, stop, have a very short sleep, and then push on some more in the early hours of the morning. And hopefully that will get me through before it gets too hot. So, interesting day ahead. Still going through the lovely forest. I tried to have a late start this morning, but I'm so used to waking up when the sun comes up now. I fluffed around and lay there and just really took my time. And it was still 7:40 when I left. So compared to what I have been doing, yes, it's a late start, but it's still pretty early. 11.2 miles to get to the road I'm aiming for. So there we go. And it's downhill for the first 4.5 miles. Here's the morning panorama. That flat desert floor down there, that is where I'm dropping to. I like this tree. It almost looks like it has feathers from a distance, but look at that. That's pretty cool. Very pretty from a distance. The trail has dropped off the ridgeline now and we've started switchbacking, which is actually a good thing because it was quite a steep drop on the ridgeline, and so the switchbacking isn't quite as steep. Little lake ahead in there. Oh, still dropping. Getting a little overgrown in places, but not too bad. Definitely going to have to check myself for ticks after this section. Ooh, nearly down at the road. There's the road down there. That's not the road, that's a road I cross, which is about halfway for the morning. So the road I want, I think, is on the other side of these hills, right on the edge of the flats. I made it to the road, and now the trail is following above the road for a while in an area of quite thick vegetation. See it with the camera, but this sign says entering private land. This is one of the very few areas of the PCT which is not on public land. Which is pretty amazing when you think about how far it is. You know, 2,600 miles or 4,200 and something miles. So pretty impressive. And a road crossing. Just had a nice break in the shade. Now it's 6.5 miles to get to the road. From here, I think we're just following along the valleys and in and back out again, all the way until we're on the far side of this hill. Walking along on the green, and then you'll get this little patches of white like this. And then back to the green. It's a yucca! Not many flowers. I'm not sure if that's all that's left or it's just a bit more sparse. But there you go. Here's a yucca. It's been a while. And another horny-toed lizard. This is a lot smaller than yesterday's one and slightly different colouring on it. Just come from that direction. I was on that ridge line. Made my way around here. And here's now the view. These bright orange patches of poppies. Beautiful. Poppies everywhere. Don't remember seeing this one. Ooh. Alright, I will stay on the trail. So there's a snake, and it hasn't given me any warning and doesn't seem to care about me. Just sitting there. Now this one's alive, unlike last time I said that. So I'm going to go off trail and go around it, because it doesn't look like it's interested in moving. Not bad scenery along here. Look at how thick that poppy field is. Right, hopefully that's the end of the climbing. That's quite a big hill in the heat. There is no breeze going up the hill. The temperature's okay as long as there's the breeze, but it's as soon as you get away from that breeze, then ooh, it gets hot. These poppies are a lot more orange. There's a couple around here which are deep, deep orange. Here's another one. Whew. I feel like this track has just been taking me in circles and winding me all around the place without actually getting anywhere. But finally, it looks like coming around a hill and I can see the flat. So hopefully the track can't take me too many more circles. Yes, finally, there is the road. I think behind that shed, I think that's Hiker Town down that way, and there's a shop down that way. So one last flat bit. Woo! This is a pretty way to finish the walk for the morning. Absolutely gorgeous along here, and then the grass is a little purple, which is just making the poppies seem even brighter. But hey, pretty cool. Okay, so I'm sitting in a store eating food, and then someone comes up to me and says, "Can I take a photo with you?" And so meet one of the people who see me.
My name is Shannon, and my husband and I have property a few miles away from here, and we come to Weeville whenever we're in town for the weekend. and we've been watching your videos from the beginning, and I could not believe that you're here in person. So I wanted to meet you in person and shake your hand and say best of luck and buy your coffee. So make it official.
She's now officially a trail angel because she's buying me a coffee.
Sounds good.
I don't like the sun that much, but I like the weird combination.
That's a little one.
This is Hiker Town. So some guys have created this little village for hikers, and it's like a western fake storefront place. There's the hotel and the sheriff and the feed store. Just keeps going down. The saloon. There's a jail down there. This is basically a hiker hangout in here. So there's a store there where you can buy drinks and snacks as well. Accommodation over there. It's only $10 a night. They've got showers and laundry here as well. So yeah, quite a neat setup. So I am leaving Hiker Town. It is 4:20. Now about to do the infamous aqueduct section. So I just went back across the road to touch the marker where I left, and now across the road and onto the trail, and it seems like I'm going into a prison, fenced on both sides. Normally this section I would have left a bit later, and the plan is to try and night hike, but as you can see it's actually pretty cloudy, and there's actually rain off in the distance, and we're getting rain where I was earlier. So this is very unusual that it's so cool in this part. So I'm going to make the most of it. Yeah, and leaving now, so I'll get a bit more daylight hiking. I'll still probably hike into the night. Yeah, still windy, but this is a pretty way to start. Walking through a field of poppies. There's some purpley grass as well. Yeah, this is pretty nice. Not really what I was picturing for the aqueduct walk. All of the videos I've seen is people, you know, hot and thirsty and dry and brown. But once again, the benefit of a super bloom year. This is beautiful. I arrived at the road at 12 o'clock. I tried hitching, but it's a road where everyone goes quite fast. Did have one ute or pickup truck pull over, trail bikes in the back. So I jogged up to them. Just as I was getting near the back, they spun the wheels so that all the gravel kicked up, and then they took off. So that's my first bad encounter. Then one of the guys that I'd just passed, he told me that there was a shuttle going into one of the shops, Whedon's, Villains, sorry, not sure which one. So waited a couple of minutes and went in with a load of other hikers. The guy was great at the shop, showed us where to put our packs. Went in, had a hamburger and chips, lots of soft drink, and also charged my electronics, which is good, and just hung out there for a while, and then encountered a couple of people who had been following my blog, which is really neat. Shannon was here. She came up and asked if she could take her photo with me. I was a little surprised, but then she explained she'd been following the blog. So I had a quick chat with her, which is nice. Then hung out a bit more, and then Shannon and James. And then Shannon came back a bit later with her husband James, and we sat down and had a good chat, which is really nice. And then they offered to give me a ride back to Hikertown, which I accepted, and also paid for my meal, which was very, very generous. So thank you very much. That makes you officially trail angels. So thanks for the ride and the company and the meal. Yeah, really neat to meet them. So back at Hikertown, just hung out with the other hikers for a little bit, and one of them showed me the forecast, which is looking perfect for the desert crossing. So rather than waiting till later this evening, I decided to leave now. Not just poppies, there's other flowers every now and again, like these ones that pop up. It's just beautiful walking along like this. Temperature's beautiful. Not too hot at the moment. There's a light breeze, which is keeping it even cooler. Wow, couldn't have asked for better conditions for this. Information sign, very faded, but basically the 7 miles that I've just covered is part of the Tejon Ranch. So thank you very much to the ranch for letting us put the trail through there. It's amazing. I don't know if the camera's picking this up, but just the colour in these fields is just beautiful, up close and in the distance as well. Just I know I keep saying I'm so fortunate, but I mean, to be walking it this year, yeah! It's a little caterpillar. This gate's a bit more substantial. Oh, they're always hard to open, these gates. And then the obstacle course. But this time the obstacle course, and then they shut the gate, and now the obstacle course again, and off. So just tucking around the corner of this farm. Alright, down the road next to a farm. The pine cones in those barrels. All sorts of farming equipment. That looks like a vintage in there. I do like the road sign telling you it's the end of the road. Alright, so stay out of aqueduct. You may drown. Alright, noted. So this is the Los Angeles Aqueduct. I'll be walking along the open section for a little bit, and then from the videos I've seen it turns into a pipe. And we've got a long flat section, and I think it's about 20 something miles to the next water source. It's 32 kilometers, but it's a little more. All of the butterflies flying around. I'm not sure if the video is showing that, but wow, there's just so many of them. Look at that. On the ground. There's a caterpillar. It's a little windy for them. Oh, there's just so many of them. Look at them all flying around in front of me. video. It's a little windy. At the moment, the wind is pretty cool. It's coming from my right, but very slightly behind me. So it's giving me a little push as I'm going along. I just noticed some new flowers. Now we get to cross over the aqueduct. Turn off here, Pacific Crest Trail this way, and now we're on the aqueduct itself. Ooh, here we go. It's a little scary to know the pressure of the water underneath these old steel plates, but we'll just pretend I can't see it. And they obviously want us up on top because the crossing's on top, not down by the road. I think that's a big truck filling area. There's a couple of dogs in there. T sign down there, so I'm going to go and have a look, see what it is. And it's sandbags! Woohoo! And a very old cooker down there. Okay, I think we're on the road now. Someone said this was flat, and that looks awful like a hill ahead of me. That's a hill. They lied. Lovely temperature walking along here, and the reason is that cool cloud up there is blocking the sun. So I was walking along the long road along the aqueduct, and I thought it was a mirage of a person in front, but it wasn't. This is the gentleman I've just met.
I'm Shiggy. My trail name is Shiggy. I'm from Canada. Originally I'm from Czech Republic, but I live in Canada. And I'm doing PCT almost every year since 2014, except 2017. I skipped because too much snow. This year is probably the same like 2017, so I don't know. I'm going south from Walker Pass.
Yep, so I wanted to get a video because to have done the trail that many times, pretty amazing. So lovely to meet you.
I recommend everybody do PCT. It's beautiful, believe me.
Just had a whole lot of quail running across the road. And disappearing off into the bush. Finally got some footage of a quail. They're generally pretty quick, hard to get footage of. But there you go, there's a quail. Excitement on the trail. It dips down and the aqueduct looks different. Whew, excitement. That's where I've come from. And this is pretty cool. Look at all the Joshua trees in here. And all of their seeds. Look at that. Pretty good crop on a little tree. And all the way along, I think I'm going to have pretty good views of Joshua trees. Which will help break the monotony of this long road. Wow. Look at all those trees. Pretty cool. Oh, and another of these. These are ones I saw before the I-10 underpass. Little horn on the back of it. Here's a really small one of these Joshua trees. And it's still got heaps of fruit on. Look at that. As far as I can see out that direction. There are little caterpillars of 3 different types all over the track. So I'm having, oh, here's another one. I'm having to watch to make sure I'm not squishing any, but they're everywhere. And it's gone quite soft sand in here, which in one way is a little bit more cushioning, but it does make it for a little harder to walk on. I'm off to the side of the road where it seems to be firmer. Down in there is much softer. Look at that, that's like a sand pit. So it means I'm walking on a little bit of an angle, having a bit of deja vu of the first few days of the Te Araroa Trail in New Zealand, which is 100 kilometres on a beach. So you have that very slight angle for all of that time. Road taking off. I just had a jackrabbit across the road. Actually quite a lot of wildlife here. Still Joshua trees to my right. I'm actually enjoying this walk. I was expecting it to be a miserable walk, but this part so far I'm actually quite enjoying. There's enough to look around, to keep me occupied. I can imagine if you did this at night by torchlight, then yes, it would get very monotonous. You know, there's hills to look at ahead. So yeah, so far, pretty cool. Sun is still nicely hidden behind a little cloud. The aqueduct is a bit more buried in this part, so it's a bit closer to ground level. Get a view of the other side now. That town doesn't look far away, but it's now 18:20, so I've been walking for 2 hours. Distance is definitely deceptive in this area. Woohoo! Hold on for the excitement. It's a bend road. Oh, wow, something different. That looks like a snake track. Either that or someone simulating a snake track. Look at that. Pretty cool. And then the car takes over, so I don't know where it goes from there. Okay, turning off the road and onto the concrete. And apparently it is now 10 miles of concrete. Oh, you can hear the water. Now a novice trap is to walk on the lovely flat concrete because it looks so good and you can walk so fast. However, it's incredibly hard on your legs, and longer term you're actually better off staying on the slightly rougher dirt, because your legs and your feet are definitely going to thank you rather than trying to walk on concrete. The other trick to the long road walks like this is to stop and stretch quite often. On a normal trail you're using slightly different muscles all the time, whereas on a walk like this it's the exact same muscles in the exact same way. It's very repetitive, and you'll find that your legs will stiffen up a lot more than on a normal trail. So stopping every half hour and stretching is a good way to stop some of the niggles that you start to pick up for repetitive walking. And of course the most obvious one is don't go too fast. Very tempting to just put the burner down and go really fast on these sorts of walks. And if it's only a couple of miles, you know, 3 or 4 kilometres, not a problem. But you know, this one we're talking 20 miles, and your body's not going to thank you if you try and rush it too much. This looks like an animal started to walk over it, realised it was still wet and yucky, and then off again. This animal actually went all the way across, and oh, look at that. I think that is coyote, because that looks like nail marks there, and if it was a cat, I don't think they have nail marks, but then I'm definitely not an expert in American animals. Very convenient that every mile or so they provide these lovely seats for us. A lovely height to sit on. Showing up nicely with the sun and the dark clouds. It's more to look at than I thought. There's a whole lot of caravans scattered along the left, and just past a house and with an interesting yard. There's another house coming up ahead. So yeah, definitely not what I was expecting. Oh, rabbit ahead. Not what I was expecting. I was sort of expecting it to be flat and desolate and sand and nothing else and nothing to see, but yeah, pleasantly surprised. Some interesting clouds over there. Sky just gets more and more beautiful with the colours. So the sun's down now. Look at those cool clouds. Beautiful. So I'm in the desert. I'm in the Mojave Desert, and it's been raining. I stopped to put my umbrella up, and of course now my umbrella's up. It stopped raining, but it was enough to, you know, speckle the ground with water. Yeah, wasn't expecting rain in the desert. It did say at about 2, or the weather forecast said there's a 30% chance of rain at around 2 in the morning. So originally I was going to cowboy camp, and then I decided I wouldn't be cowboy camping. So I'm not sure if the rain's coming through early. It still looks to be some pretty grey clouds overhead and in that direction, but maybe this is coming through a bit earlier than planned. Either way, I'm not going to be walking for too much further.